YouTube! Welcome in! I'm Deu, your local Polish cat girl, and today we're gonna be watching Why Girls Like Playing Support by Noctopus. Please enjoy.
If there's something that anyone who's chronically online misunderstands, it's women. So, in my brave pursuit of understanding them better, I set out to answer one simple question. Why do girls always like playing support? But some of you have been complaining about the misogyny on this channel, so I'd like to bring on and interview a real-life woman to discover the truth.
No way! A female! Yeah! No, but for real! Listen, when I first started playing the League of Legends, it was like so many people who just wanted me to play support. They were like, I wanted to go mid, but they were like saying, no, you cannot go and play mid. What do you mean you want to play mid? That's a male role. You're supposed to be a support. And I was young when I first started playing League of Legends. I think I started playing League of Legends in like, kind of when it first came out, so like 2010, I think. So I didn't knew I am supposed to say, oh, I'm gonna play whatever I want, huh? And I was playing only support back then. And I think that's why I kind of like stayed at the support, because I never kind of like learn. I never learned how to play any other lane. Because I was always the support, because they were always putting me as the support, you know? Like we were playing with entire teams, so me and 4 other people. There was the question, who's going where? They were always putting me as the support, non-stop. It was so annoying. But now, after so many years, I can already say, for a year, maybe even like 1.5 years, I am free of being a support in League of Legends. I decided, if I'm playing mid at support and I'm dealing all of the damage in my team, I can as well go mid and get farm to get more money. And I can do even more damage, and I can carry my team. And then I started going top, Queen, Vayne, you know, this kind of range top characters. And now I'm back at the bot, but not as support, but as a AD carry. And I absolutely love it. Shayak, my beloved AD carry. I'm sorry, I've started already yapping so much. A female!
Hello?
Hello?
Hey,
She sounds so cute!
just got a question for you for this video.
Okay.
Take all the time you need to answer this. I just want to know, why does it seem that women always play support in online games?
Well, I think it's because a lot of women...
Alright, I've heard enough. It's clear that this was going to be a lot harder than I thought. Before we get to the truth of this...
Why I wanted to listen more to her! She sounded so cute! What do you mean? Why did you hang out? I wanted to listen to cute women!
Complex question, let's just go over what you're all thinking. Now, I know this subject can be kind of touchy, so to avoid any confusion, this obviously doesn't apply to every woman and everyone that plays support. Support is known for 2 things. 1 being the role that no one wants to queue for, and 2, it's also considered to be the easiest role in existence. Now, I'll leave that all up to you to argue about in the comments, but what we can all agree on is
I mean, listen, in League of Legends, I would say, yeah, it is the simple one. Because sometimes all you have to do is just heal your AD carry. Like, literally, you just need to help your team. If you don't actively put your entire team as disadvantage, you're already not a bad support, you know? I mean, you know, a good support can literally carry the entire game, yeah? Like, you can totally carry everyone if you're a good support. But at the end of the day, I would say, you know, it's kind of easier to carry as an AD carry, mid laner, jungler, top lane. Like, literally every other lane can have a bit more impact. So I kind of get it, but at the same point, that's only when it comes to League of Legends. When it comes to, for example, like Overwatch, I think in Overwatch, support can be really, like the entire carry of the team. You can literally heal and deal quite a lot of the damage in Overwatch. Though for Overwatch you shouldn't be speaking, because I mostly, if I was when I was playing Overwatch, I was playing either Moira as the support, and I was just dealing a lot of damage. I was the damage Moira who everyone absolutely hates, or I was just playing Elisa as a tank. Like, low-key, that's the only game in which I absolutely love to play tanks. So here we go.
The fact that you'll see more girl characters or cute skins in support roles.
I
There
love
are
them.
games that keep the male-to-female ratio pretty even, like Overwatch, where 6 out of the 10 supports are female. But in games like League of Legends, 24 out of the current 36 supports are female. Just to get some
choose Touchkinch. I don't know why, but Touchkinch is so not support to me. Like, listen, I don't know why, but in League of Legends, you can basically, like, currently, you can go to jungle with every possible character. Even Yumi. I want few games in my life with Yumi jungle, okay? But at the same point, at the same time, you can basically take any character as the support. It's so crazy to me. If you have any root, stun, anything like this, you can basically play this character as a support already. It's so crazy to me. I don't know, bro.
Some more stats, I thought it would be fun to contact some weebs who play Genshin Impact, and then I
Yeah.
discovered that 22 out of the 30 or so support characters are girls. Although that one's not really fair because most of the characters look like girls anyways. Why does this matter? Well, it makes sense to assume that women might want to play as something that they identify with more easily. But in an effort to back this up, I found one of the very few studies done on this very question. Researchers found that girls are more likely to play characters they can identify with. However, with older women, it really just came down to picking whatever was most aesthetically pleasing to them. While this is interesting by itself, this wasn't enough. I needed
What?
to do something a bit more drastic instead of just looking at one nerdy research paper. The next step to find our answer was doing something that only the most courageous of men can do. It was time to go straight to the source, real-life women. To do this was pretty simple. I just put out a tweet into the void that said, "Genuine question for any woman reading this. Why does it seem that girls are more commonly seen playing support roles in online games?" Thinking this would only get a few replies, I was pretty shocked when it ended up being over 700 lengthy explanations from so many different people. And I'm not gonna lie, this ended up being a lot of reading. So I took all of the answers and condensed them into the 3 most common and repeated points. The first reason a lot of women talked about is that they picked the support role to escape the toxicity of their
Oh,
teammates,
that's real.
which they experienced more often if they played something like tank or DPS.
You literally
Okay,
get no dick, bro.
Bro, Omen, I just want you to know you're a shitty human. You're mad
Yeah.
selfish, bro. Like, you're dragging us in here
Really
because
just
you're a
end your
stupid
life.
boy who just wants attention.
That is so typical for Valorant! Oh my god! Listen, in Valorant, okay, but listen, in Valorant, it doesn't matter what kind of character you're playing. If it is even when you're playing Sage, you can still get flamed for absolutely nothing. I have no idea, but Valorant is so toxic, okay? Like, I don't know why. I mean, any kind of game with voice that is kind of toxic, not gonna lie. Though, I think it also has some good sides if you're gonna look at it from different perspective, okay? For example, I learned quite a lot of Russian slurs playing Counter-Strike back in the day. All of my Russian comes from playing Counter-Strike and people flaming me on voice chat. This is quite a lot you can learn, okay? Even from all of this toxicity. Okay, let's look at the bright sides.
On God, like,
Uninstall
kill
life.
yourself. Go back to the kitchen,
Yeah.
weirdo.
Seriously, where you belong.
Make me a sandwich, you fat bitch.
Seriously, go hit the treadmill.
Literally unloved by everyone.
And before you comment something like, "Oh, welcome to the internet," I want to point out that while trash talk, of course, is pretty regular, the toxicity mentioned could be a bit different than what's usually expected. To put it more simply, this is the difference between we lost because our jungler is a bronze moron and we lost because our jungler is a woman. Women watching this, please ignore that. Anyways, as an avid player of games with horrible reputations myself, I can personally agree that while gaming is a less male-dominated space compared to 10 years ago, there's still a lot of instances of toxicity uniquely aimed at women. Most people would agree that the phrase, "Are you a girl?" is spoken like a curse, and anything that follows after can't be good.
It's a fucking female prostitute! Get off the fucking game and do your husband dishes, bitch!
I wanted to research this and
What was this clip even? I didn't expect this. But bro, listen, most of the women I know that play games, they literally don't even talk on voice chat. They don't have anything that can even signify that they are women. Because, listen, usually you can meet not only really random toxicity if you're a woman in game, but you can also meet a lot of people who are just gonna randomly try to raise you in every possible way. And if you're gonna say, you know, I would like to focus on the game, try hard the game to win the ranked game or something, they're just gonna start calling you a bitch, and you know, they're gonna turn 180 around and they're just gonna start flaming you for not accepting their race or something. Like, it's that two-sided coin, okay? But still, I think most of the women don't really even say they are women online because of
Surprisingly,
that.
there was actually a large number of studies done on the toxicity around girl gamers, which mostly ended up supporting these claims. For example, a study from Uppsala University found that women were actually half half as likely to use in-game voice chat, while a lot
Yeah.
of their reasoning being they wanted to hide the fact that they were a woman from their teammates in Overwatch. This was also thought to have a connection to why there were less women in esports, but that's a topic that's been covered by lots of other videos. What we are going to get into, however, is one of the more controversial.
You know what it reminded me of right now? There was this case recently, right? In, oh my god, is it called Arena of Valor? I think that's how it's called. Where there was, basically when it comes to like Asia esport, there's a really big market for mobile esport games. And Arena of Valor is like League of Legends, but for mobiles. I used to play it as well, by the way, when I didn't have PC back in the day. But there was this case that there was the female team, they were representing the entire nation. I don't remember if it was the Vietnam or it was the Philippines. I have no idea, so I don't want to spread misinformation right now. But one of the girls, the main carry in the team, got caught cheating. Literally, she was talking on Discord with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend was playing and screen sharing to her the game, and she just put it on full screen. She got to the national level of representing her country, cheating with a freaking Discord call. Like, listen, like, what? That is so random to me. Like, listen, people cheating in general in esport, there were histories like this, okay? But literally cheating while representing your entire country in hella popular game in esport? Oh my god, bro. Like, I would just say fuck her, but bro, imagine how much like damage it will cause to like entire team and the entire women esports, stuff like this. I absolutely hate this kind of stuff.
Opinions. Human nature. There were a good portion of the replies to the survey that pointed towards support being the more motherly role, where you're the caretaker of keeping the drooling DPS safe from any harm. Now listen, I know that not every girl plays support, not every woman wants to baby their dumbass team, but let's see if there's any truth to this. Support is one of those essential roles that, while may be boring to most people, is kind of the glue that holds everything together. There seem to be a lot of I want to take care of my team and be helpful types of players, and they even went as far as to call DPS boring because it doesn't give you enough utility. Interestingly, to go along with this, a lot of women were introduced to video games and encouraged to take the support role because it's easiest to get into. While the skill ceiling of characters and roles are all pretty unique, I was more interested to look at the psychology of picking different roles. As a more manly DPS main myself, I of course like playing a more risky role that does absolutely fat damage. If you look at the support role as a whole though, you do take on more of a multitasking and caretaker role, which if we look at typical cultural differences between men and women are better at. Men often take more risk with lower rewards, while women are usually on the opposite side of the spectrum. Well, when I played League of Legends, I actually played I played...
Imagine playing League. You couldn't be me. Ew. No, but for real, you know what's even one thing that I absolutely hate? It comes from the time when I was playing support in League of Legends. I absolutely hate how sometimes your AD carry gonna make like the most stupid decision ever. Like going into 3 enemies because randomly we got ganked or something, okay? They make the absolute stupidest decision ever that you can't even comprehend. How did this idea pop into their brain? And then they're gonna scream at you and they're gonna flame you for not saving them somehow when they're going like 1 into 3 or something, you know? And let's say you recalled or stuff like this, okay? Listen, I would say support is not rewarding at all. Because literally anything that happens on your lane can be just blamed on you. I absolutely hate it. That's why I'm not support anymore.
My vagina is shriveling.
What?
Sorry, just
To go along with this, women on the other hand are typically more empathetic, and in most instances are taught to play support IRL in their households. If we want to see how this ties into video games though, you need to understand something called a role congruity theory. We'll call it RCT for now. This basically states if you take a group of people and their roles fit stereotypes, the group will be more successful overall. Adversely, if someone is in a role where they stereotypically do not fit, they're discriminated against. Now, this obviously isn't always the case, and RCT seems to be getting less applicable as there are lots of women who don't play support at all and enjoy other roles for lots of different reasons. Enough of that now though, because there's one more thing I neglected to mention. Something that's a bit more sinister, and by far the #1 one most common answer for why women play supports.
It's fun making grown men beg for heals. I like the feeling that people need me or they will die. I'm a support main for the true power. I get the most OP abilities. I get to decide if my toxic teammate lives or dies. I'm in charge.
Support mains.
Based! It reminds me of Valorant and this entire meme of sages saying like, meow for me if you want to heal. I'll bark if you want me to revive you. Ah, I love it, Queens! I absolutely adore it.
Absolute psychos. Not only am I now scared of support players, this was by far the #1 and most common answer I got on the Twitter survey. There is a huge sense of reliability on this role. Even if you think support is easy, without them in most game metas you'd be at a disadvantage. It seems like most support mains in general love the feeling of control and utility you get. They aren't necessarily picking this role to avoid toxicity, but because they enjoy the strategic nature that comes with it. Not only that, but if you shit-talk a support, they can decide to subject you to the worst 50-minute league game you've ever had. And this could be considered a valid response to the toxicity problem we talked about earlier in the video, except you're also throwing the game for the rest of your team, but let's be honest, who cares about that? Reading these inspired me to try out support more, and while it's not really for me, I do have a newfound respect for anyone that chooses that role. Thanks for watching. If you want more videos about gaming psychology stuff, watch this video about why games think you're stupid.
Oh, I need to. Yeah, listen. Women support, I can even meow for her. I can do it. It's not an issue for me. Thank you for watching this one with me. Thank you. I'm clapping my hands. Thank you. I had so much fun. Oh my god, I love it. But yeah, do you wanna be my support? The new season in League started. I'm looking for support. Hello. I wanna support, please. Anyone? Thank you.